Gang, how y'all doing? So, I want to talk about something to all the people who don't know what you want to do in life, such as let's say you finish high school and you just don't know what career you want to go for. Let's say that I'm not even using my words correctly, bro. In this video, I already fucked up already. What I'm saying is that let's say you finish high school, right, and you don't know what you want to do, such as all your high school friends want to go to uni, or all your friends were going to uni, or some people might take a gap year, and on those lines, you still decide what to do. Well, my advice for anyone out there, if you don't know what to do, is you just need to try a bunch of shit. That's all you need to do if you don't know what to do. Because honestly, that's what I did when I finished high school, right? Because when I was 18 or 19, when I finished high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? Specifically, I didn't know if I want to become I didn't know if I want to go to uni. I didn't know on the lines of I want to do this or that. But at the same time, in order to figure out what you want to do, is you just got to try a bunch of things out. That's not only when you figure out what you want to do. Try a bunch of things out, because the reason why you don't know what you want to do when you grow up is because you haven't tried shit. That's the thing. You have to try as much shit as you possibly can. This could be I don't know, working for a bunch of shit jobs, or trying that passion project you always think of, or maybe try this or do this. For example, from my own experience, when I finished high school, right, I initially went to TAFE, right? So TAFE was since I'm from Australia, right? TAFE was it was like the shitty version of unis, right? It's basically, if you couldn't get a uni, you just go to TAFE, right? So if you're a dumb cunt like me, you go to TAFE, right? So I went to this TAFE course to try to become an architecture, right? Because at that time, I was thinking of becoming an architect, right? So basically, I tried to do this architecture course, and then I did it for one day, and I realized it wasn't for me. So I gave up and I dropped out. So, and then I decided to go to uni, right? I was actually thinking of doing psychology to become a psychologist, because initially I had an interest in the mindset. So personally, I was interested in psychology, learn how the mind works, which I do. If you watch this channel, you can tell I'm interested in mindset stuff, as you can tell. So I went to uni, right, to try to study for psychology, right, and basically, I spent a month at uni, and I realized it wasn't for me. So I pretty much dropped out of uni before I have to pay for my HEX, right? So my HEX is based in Australia. Basically, when you finish uni, right, you got to pay back the unis it's pretty much, HEX is pretty much where you go in debt so you can pay off back the unis, right? That's literally what it is. So I dropped out before you have to do that bullshit. So I dropped out of uni to do psychology, because I didn't want to do psychology, because I realized that fuck it, if I want to learn about psychology, I could just read fucking self-help books or psychology books, right? So that's what I did. I basically read Trouble Was a Life by Jordan Peterson, all that bullshit, right? So, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do, but at that time I decided to start a comedy skit channel, right? So I decided to start a comedy skit channel. I was trying to grind on that, and also decided to start a photography Instagram page at that time, right? And at that time, right, I was trying to grind those two accounts, right? I was trying to grind my comedy skit channel. At that time, I was trying to really focus on just posting fucking 3 times a day, 3 times a week on that YouTube channel. And unfortunately, I didn't really got anywhere with the comedy stuff, because I got kind of burnt out, and it wasn't really for me. But at the same time, I was doing photography, right? I was posting photography content. Well, I was posting my photography work on my Instagram account, right? So, because at that time, I wanted to become a travel photographer. That's what initially I wanted to do. So, it was a period where I was posting landscape photography and and I was posting pretty often. But then later on when I started posting on landscape photography, then I started doing different other genres of photography, such as I started doing portrait photography. I started doing street photography. I started doing food photography, different other genres of photography over time. And eventually that account ended up taking off, and now what I do actually now today is I actually am a travel photographer who actually works with travel clients, such as I work for hotels, tourism boards of travel brands in that industry. That's what I actually do now, if you guys are curious. And what I'm saying is that in order to figure out what you want to do is, like what I said from the beginning of the video, I did set on the lines that you just got to try as much things as possibly as you can, right? But at the same time, You just try it out. Like, give yourself at least like maybe like a month or maybe like a few days. And if you don't like it, then just pivot straight away. And then once you try a bunch of things, right, then you can kind of narrow down what you actually like doing and what you don't like doing, right? But at the same time, when you figure out what you actually like doing, make sure you find something where you can actually, that's actually like a market. That is actually like, make sure you actually learn a skill. Like, for example, I can't even use my words today. Sorry about this. Sorry if I'm wasting your fucking time. But the idea I'm technically saying is that try as much shit as possible, because as you try as much things as you can, you get more data, you get more information, and then you start learning how things work. For example, right, for my own photography career, right, I started learning photography, right? That's how I actually got into photography. I started learning it. Then later on, I started learning about marketing. So that's when I started learning about content creation. I started learning about social media, content creation, blah, blah. And then clients started reaching out to me for my photography service. That's when I started learning about sales. That's when I started learning about sales and marketing. And that's when I started offering my skills. So my advice for anyone, if you don't know what you do, is one, find something you somewhat enjoy, right? It doesn't have to be like a passion, right? Just try something you're somewhat interested in. It can be anything. It could be, I don't know, working at McDonald's. Well, as a starting point, it can be good to work at McDonald's, but then you can fuck off somewhere else. Or like, I don't know, making music or whatever the fuck it is, right? Just start something. And then over time, once you find like some sort of interest idea, learn the skill behind that. Learn a specific skill. So such as this could be learning sales, right? It could be learning photography, content creation, or it could be learning, I don't know, copywriting, or even learning about AI. Let's say if you're interested in AI, such as the AI boom and such, lean into that. Like, just learn. I think the best way to really figure out what you want to do is just try a bunch of shit and just learn as you go. That's the only way you figure out. And also, even if you doing the career that you don't like doing, you can always pivot, bro. That's what no one doesn't teach you, right? People think that, just because you spend, I don't know, fucking 3 years. Let's say you spend 3 years at uni, right? Let's say you spend 3 years, I don't know, becoming a lawyer. But then halfway you realize, the lawyer pathway is not for me, right? Most people are fucking retarded. They keep doing the lawyer pathway. If you don't like becoming a lawyer, if you realize it's not for you, then fucking just drop it and do something else. Pivot. Like, if you don't like it, if you realize it's not for you, trust your gut and just pivot, right? Because the only reason why you don't know what you want to do is because you gotta try shit. That's the only way you figure out what the fuck you want to do. If you don't try enough shit, then how is he gonna know? That's why, like, for example, it's such a fucking dumb question you have to ask, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck asks that question? That's a fucking gay question, bro. Or what do you mean when you grow up? No, like, some people do wake up one day where they figure, I want to do this when I grow up. Some people do ask that question, but some people don't have that question. So the only way you figure out actually what you want to do is try shit. Just try as much fucking shit as you can. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be related to like making money. It could be a passion project. It could be, I don't know, trying a hobby. Just try as much as you fucking can. That's the only way you figure out what you actually want to do. And then once you figure out what you actually want to do, then you can start being very specific and very intentional what you want to do. Then you can start learning skills in that industry. So that's what I want to kind of come in, is that, there's some people just waste their life fucking around, right? And the reason why you fuck around, because you're scared to try something different. You're scared of being independent. So what I'm got to say is, overall, the whole message of the video is just, you gotta try shit. That's literally what I'm gonna say. Like, I pretty much fucking repeat myself 1,000 fucking times in this video, but that's what I'm gonna say, is just try as much shit as you can. That's only a bit. So, that's what I gotta say. Or, another thing, if you don't know what you want to do in life, is find a problem in your life that you are struggling. So let's say if you're a fat cunt, right? Let's say you're a fat motherfucker, right? And let's say you want to lose weight. Let's say maybe that could be a goal in life, right? Maybe you could start going to the gym and start working out. And then maybe when you start losing weight or start like losing that belly fat, whatever it is, or you start getting shredded, maybe you can become a personal trainer. You can teach people how to lose weight or how to gain muscle mass, or you can even make content on the lines of teaching people how to get shredded, or like sell courses or Whatever bullshit on those lines. That's another way you can actually figure out what you want to do. I think the best way is you either try shit or you find a problem in your own life and you solve it and you help people find that solution to that problem. Because that is also a business idea you can lean into. Because business is about solving people's problems. So that's my advice if you don't know what you want to do, honestly. Because I know most people who probably live around the world of fucking around, decided, I don't know what to do with my life, and that's because you haven't tried shit. And some people don't really go out the way to try shit. It's because, one, because they're a fucking pussy to try themselves. Two, they're very dependent on other people. That's what I mean. Like, for example, how I got into photography is because I used to like doing hikes. That's how I got into photography. I got into it because I used to go on hikes, and then one day I started posting my photos on Instagram, and then next minute I started learning, how do you take these sick photos? And that's how I got into photography. So I know I kind of rant off. I feel like every video I make, I always keep ranting off, bro. I don't know if people even watch them at the end of these YouTube videos, honestly. I've noticed I'm getting some views on this channel now. Like, people actually subscribing and this, but I still need to work on how to structure these videos. Maybe I might actually learn how to structure these videos more often, so I don't kind of just rant off back and forth. So, like, to kind of get people, understand what I'm saying. But I hope you're getting some sort of value out of this video. Like and subscribe if you're helpful. And yeah. Alright. See ya. Bye.